Hey guys, what's up? Drunon here, back for another weekly update to World of Warcraft Classic, Wrath of the Lich King. This is the 8th or ninth week, I can't remember anymore, but we're just cruising along. And guys, I'm back for some more updates for you. This week is a little bit weird. There's some updates I'll give you, which are, whatever, they're crazy. But, before we kick off, I want to say a big thank you to Shaypop. Thanks for that sub on YouTube last week. He caught me during my live stream on YouTube, actually. I didn't quite have time to set up a recording for the Let's Play for the Priest, so I decided, why not just stream it live on YouTube? That's what I did. So that will be part of the playlist, but if you want to find just that episode, you'll just have to click on the live broadcasts button under my YouTube channel, and you can find that there, but I'll probably download that and actually upload it as a video later. Anyways, thanks Shaypop again for becoming a part of the Drew crew. Really appreciate you hanging out, and hopefully I'll see you around soon. Probably when I get some more YouTube streams going. This week was a little bit weird, and I'll get into why I didn't do any more. I guess let's just go through our regular list, though. So let's look at our performances this week, and as I'm going through these, I'll do some explaining about why the week was weird. So Mage performance. This is the exact same screen as it was the last time we had a weekly update, and it's slightly disappointing. But we did attempt an Undying run. I say attempt because we didn't get it, and you'll know why when we do the fight of the week at the end of this video. It's a little bit sad and funny, and no hard feelings to the person that died, but there was only one person that died. It'll happen. But yeah, I didn't get to really play for parses, and well, the number one reason is because we only brought 21 people, and that's the same problem I've been having in my Shaman's Guild, which it's a problem that I don't want to have. I want to be in a full raid, and it's frustrating when you can't be, but it's okay. We've corrected that issue, and I'll explain that in a little bit later. So Mage, no improved best performances this week, unfortunately. I did get a 97 as a Fire Mage on Lotheb, which I'm pretty happy about. I've been working on playing Fire a little bit just to prep for Old War and beyond. So happy about that 97 on Lotheb as Fire. But it did not beat my best Arcane Parse for him. For the Shaman, also not a great week. There actually is technically improvement here, but if you'll notice, it's because I got some good Resto Parses, and yes, I got Resto Parses because I played the whole entire raid as a healer. The guild that my Shaman was in also had trouble fielding a full team, and they pretty much needed me to play Resto, and I wasn't just going to leave them high and dry, so I did play Resto for the week. I didn't get any elemental parses despite analyzing all my logs last week to make a lot of improvements. That was very disappointing. My Shaman's no longer in that guild because I want to be in raids with 25 people. That's just the bottom line. So I'll just do GDKPs on my Shaman for now. So I can have the option to play elemental and play elemental with 25 people in the raid, so I can try and get these better parses. So that's where we're at with that. My Shaman did pick up an upgrade, though, a big upgrade. So I'll show you guys that in just a little bit. My Warlock, small improvements on best performance average. And there's a caveat here. I made a big mistake this week on my raid. I'll just show you real quick. So if you look here at here's my Warlock Fluber gig. Hopefully this isn't too small. Let me zoom in a bit. You'll notice that the construct wing has some pretty low numbers here. Consistent, but low. And there's one very simple explanation for that. I forgot to put on my Fel Armor for the first wing. And Fel Armor is so important for Warlocks. Not only does it give you flat spell power, it also turns your spirit into spell power. So, I was missing a few hundred spell power by not wearing that buff, that self buff. So, big mistake there. I've corrected it by making a weak aura to let me know when I'm missing any of my important buffs. So going forward, that shouldn't happen. The rest of the raid was okay. I was pretty tilted, honestly, for not, for messing that up. So, it is what it is. I got a 90 on the 4 Horsemen. It's actually not my best. The Lotheb, I got an 85. That is my best. So there was an improvement there, which is why you see a little bit of improvement. I think I went from 76.7 to 78.9. Oh, that's item level, sorry. 76.7 to 78.9. Speaking of item level, though, if you do filter it by item level, I'm doing quite well. That's promising going forward in terms of, once I get more gear, then I'll be up in the 90s. But yeah, a little bit of a disappointing raid just because I forgot something as stupid as putting my own buffs on. Druid. I said I was going to take this week easy, and I didn't, actually. I cleared every single 25-man raid on 4 characters, and I did 10 mans on 2. 2. I didn't get KT killed on my mage. We'll talk about that later. My druid, though, okay. 50s average for the first 25-man. My gear was really lacking going into the raid, but I picked up tons of upgrades. This was a GDKP run, by the way. But yeah, okay for bad gear. Again, if you toggle about item level, I'm doing quite a bit better. I did actually get a 96 per item level on a noob, so that just tells me that I've got my single target rotation down pretty well. I just probably need some more gear, some more practice. It's certainly not perfected, otherwise these would be a bit higher, but I got some 90s, some 93s in there. Once this guy gets some gear, I think I'll be in the 90s overall as well. But my druid is my least played in terms of my experience, so he'll take a little bit more work for me to get him ready. But just happy to get 25 mans done, and I did pick up a ton of upgrades on my druid this week. He is the gear winner overall. Okay, so let's talk gear and upgrades. Which one is which? Okay, let's do my mage first. You may notice that I have a new guild tag. My warlock is sitting right next to my mage, so it's hard to see. I'm not officially a part of this guild yet. I'm trialing with them tonight, and I'm trialing with another guild the next week. So we'll see how these go. The differences between the two guilds are just in they're basically their personalities. So this guild that I'm trialing with tonight, Midwinter, they seem to be a little bit more relaxed and laid back. They don't run splits. People mostly just show up and they pump. They've got really good numbers on logs. They were one of the top 40 guilds to clear the content when Nax came out, and Malay and Sarth. They're still good. They're mostly waiting for Old War, to be honest. But for now, it seems like a lot of their team is just raid logging, but they're still putting numbers out there. They all love parsing, which I love parsing, obviously. So I'm excited to try with these guys. I think it's going to go well tonight. I talked to their GM, and he seems like a real cool guy. So, wish me luck tonight on that trial. And then next week I'll be trialing with another guild. They're a little bit more strict. They run mandatory splits. Like I would have to have 2 mages or a mage and a lock, which I do. So it's fine. But they focus more on splitting so they can gear faster, and then focus on parses and speed towards the end of the phase. So excited to try with both of them. I don't want to say I have a preference for either, because I just think that the personalities of the guilds are so different. But yes, the reason I left my guild was because I was trying to pull them out of the casual level of playing, and the truth is just 1 or 2 or 3 people can't really pull 20 other people out of a different mindset. That's okay if they want to be more casual, but they identified as semi-hardcore, and the truth is they just really weren't. We wiped on KT 10-man twice, and then the tank left. It was a guild tank, so yeah, I don't really want to be held hostage in a casual guild by people leaving a raid. So that was kind of the end of my journey with them. Cool people for the most part. Just I'm looking for something more serious. So I'm excited to trial with these guilds who have really fast kill times. I think you guys are going to see some 99 parses from me this week, and I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, I did pick up a upgrade this week, Unsullied Cuffs, Bis for phase 1. Super excited about that. Oddly enough, these things, because they're 226, they increased my item level from 209 to 211. And my gear score went from 4183 to 4225. Pretty big upgrade in terms of gear score and item level. Stats wise, spell power upgrade's pretty good. 25 spell power more now. Crit increased by like 0.06. My haste increased by 1. My mana regen by 9. Decent upgrades on health and mana. 170 health and 135 more mana. But the big one just being getting the red socket here. 19 spell power of the 25 is coming from that. So yeah, pretty excited about that upgrade. Don't have to worry about risks anymore. This is Bis for Fire and Arcane, by the way, so should be good to go there. But yeah, that's the only upgrade I got. But obviously, it's a good one, guys. We're only one. I did pick up a cloak that's slightly better than this, probably. I need to sim it. I think Death Jolt only simmed like 1 or 2 higher, actually. I can't remember, but yeah, I only need the cloak, the belt, a ring, offhand, and wand. So like we're almost done. Yeah, I was really disappointed that we didn't kill KT 10-man, by the way, because I'd like his wand, but whatever. I was so frustrated I sort of left on the spot. But okay, guys, let's switch over to the shaman. So I told you guys the shaman had to play resto this week. Again, I wasn't happy about that, but I'm not just gonna be like, no, screw you guys, I'm not gonna help you. I could have. I knew basically when 20 people showed up to raid in the shaman's guild, and I knew right then and there I was gonna leave the guild that night. I don't want to raid on a team that can't fill a whole team, so I knew I was gonna leave, but I stayed and healed anyways. So we did that whole raid resto. That was a guild that did DKP, by the way. And I had the most DKP by the time we got to Malygos and leggings of the Wonton spellcaster drop, so I managed to pick those up. Feel a little bit guilty about grabbing them and leaving, but you know, that's the system they run, and I had the most points, so that's just how it is. This is a big upgrade for me, though. This allowed me to change some of my other gear. I was wearing the Mali staff with the 95 hit, so currently I'm running my resto main hand and offhand. Just because I don't need the hit anymore. They were wasted stats. And then it allowed me to put my Abyss shoulders on as well. So one upgrade changed 4 pieces of gear for me, essentially, and probably some gems too. I can't remember what I did with gemming or anything like that. But stats-wise, guys, on the Shaman, 29 more spell power, 3 more hit, but it doesn't matter because I'm capped. 0.3% crit, 25 MP5, 20 HP, 750 mana upgrade. That's because of the shield, honestly. I mean, look at that. That's 68 mana, or 668 intellect, so like 680 mana just from the shield alone. I did trade 49 haste. So, all those other stats, but that's a solid trade. Obviously, big increase on, 29 spell power, 750 mana. Those are huge increases in stats. So happy, very, very happy getting these legs. They're highly contested, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. The Shaman will be running in GDKPs for the most part now, so, we have a lot more items we need, but hopefully they're not as expensive because this is a Shaman, even though they share some loot with Warlocks and Mages. Okay, before I exit this account, I just want to show you. Oh, he's naked. I leveled my second Warlock from 66 to 70 because it was AV weekend. I will probably be pushing this guy to 80 eventually. I kind of want to play him as Destruction, maybe just for fun. All Warlock specs are okay. You can raid with them, but I will probably play this guy with Destruction just because, and I just wanted to play higher level alts because it was AV weekend. And then DK, I bought the plate heirlooms and the PvP heirloom sword on this guy. I just took this guy from 60 to 63, just kind of, not really putting a lot of effort into these higher level ults, but taking advantage of the AV weekend. So got some levels there. And then the second mage, well, technically this is the third mage, but it's the second mage on this server. My other mage is locked on a different server. So took her from 31 to 39. One of the guilds I'm trialing for requires 2 of the same class for the most part. So I'm going to have to pump some levels on this second mage. This is my new second mage, by the way. Okay. Now let's check out the Warlock here. Warlock, short and sweet. Actually, I didn't get any upgrades this week on the Warlock, but I did run a GDKP. And, I bid competitively. I did my best, but that GDKP, only a couple caster things dropped. And there was a pure buyer mage who came and just took it all, which I'm not upset with. I left with a 4.2k gold split, so that's the benefit of running GDKPs. If you don't get anything, at least you get gold, so that's what happened there. So my gold's pretty healthy now. I'll talk about that in a bit, but unfortunately no upgrades for the lock this week, so no big deal. We'll keep working on that one. Here's the real winner this week, guys. The Druid. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take a minute to go over. The Druid just won everything, man. So I also took the Druid to a GDKP. It was the same group that ran the Warlocks GDKP. So they ran a back-to-back group, like one earlier in the afternoon and one later in the afternoon or evening. Um, Man, I made out like a bandit. So item level 206. Last week I had ended my first week as an 80 at 401, so I went up 5 item levels. My gear score was 3803. Now it's 4017. That's 214 gear score points, guys. That's crazy. I managed to kill 3 Drake. Got Twilight Vanquisher. Let me try and kind of do it in order here. So I ran my VOAs first on this guy. Didn't get anything from VOA, unfortunately. And then I ran 10-man. So I did really well in the 10-man group too, actually. I picked up a bunch of loot. So the loot from 10-man that you won't see are Leggings of Saffron. They're in my bank. Contagion Gloves, also in my bank. The gown of Blow Mew. I don't know how to say her name. I always say Blow Me, but maybe I shouldn't. And I got, tier 4 shoulders, but those obviously been replaced. And then I got a offhand, the Watchful Eye from 10-man. Those are all upgrades that I got in the beginning of the week, and I have since replaced it again with 25-man gear. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that got replaced twice this week. But out of 25-man, and again, this is GDKP, so I'll tell you what I got and I'll tell you how much I paid for it. I picked up Fairlane's Madness. It's not great because it doesn't have a meta socket, but it is 213 and it does have a lot of hit. So I paid 1,000 for this. Solid piece for now. Obviously, I will replace it with probably, if I have my way, with a tier helm and then probably like Leggings of the Wonton, but that might not happen on this character. We'll just see. I picked up Handbook of the Obscure Remedies. This is an emblem piece. I just picked this up because I was hit capped and I didn't need the offhand that I got from Nax. So, this is pretty much the best thing until I can get my BIS from Nax. I picked up this Idol of the Shooting Star. This is phase 1 BIS for Boomkins. This was 1,000 gold. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is it. Why does it say it's 25 emblems? I don't think I can buy that for 25 emblems, can I? Maybe I can in the future. Anyways, I got this from Instructor Resuvius, paid 1,000 gold for it. We actually had 3 Boomkins in the raid, but they both had this already, so I got lucky and I could just pay minimum for it. I picked up this Signet of the Hopeful Light. This isn't from a GDKP. It's just from being Exalted Archer Crusade. It was an upgrade, though, so I put it on the list. Valorous Leggings. I picked these up in the GDKP for 2,000. I know you can buy them with Emblems of Valor, but it would have taken me a few weeks to get those, so I just went ahead and bought them for the minimum 2,000 gold. Pretty happy with that. Huge stat increase over what I had. Well, actually, I had the Leggings from Saffron, so I guess it wasn't really that big of a stat increase, but it was compared to the week before. Regardless, I have my 4-piece now, which is huge. In percent or increased additional 5% crit strike chance. Like, that's really important for druids and our procs. So it was solid to get these. Glad to pay 2K for them. Overall, I spent 7,500 in the. Is that everything? Did I go over everything? I think I missed some stuff. Yeah. Thunderstorm Amulet, I did. I scrolled down on the page. 1,000 in the GDKP. Pretty dang solid, not bad. Valorous, I spent emblems on these, which, again, helped me get my 4-piece bonus. Chest, yeah, how did I skip all this? I paid 2.5k for this in the GDKP. Really great pickup here. Usually that's a little bit more contested than 2.5. Soulblade, this came out of the 10-man. I'm still wearing it, didn't get replaced, but, this solid. This comes off of a KT 461 spell power on a 213 weapon. You really can't complain about that. And then I think that's it. I think I said everything else. But yeah, overall, guys, I spent 7,500 gold in that GDKP. The GDKP split was insane. I got 7.1 back. So all the gear I just listed from 25-man, I netted for 400 gold. And then if you combine that with the 4.2k that I spent, or that I earned on my Warlock, it was still a net 3.8 thousand gold for all this gear between the two characters. So super happy running GDKPs. I think it's a great system personally, but I'm not really bidding on like super competitive items yet because I don't really actually have the bankroll for it, but maybe I won't like it so much when I'm bidding 20k on a weapon or whatever. We'll see. So let's talk stats on this guy. Big increases this week. My spell power last week was 1737 and now it's 2071. 334 spell power increase. That's insane. Hit stayed the same at 267. I'm still capped there. Crit stayed roughly the same, 0.1% increase. I traded 3 haste, which is approximately the same. So negative 3 haste. 77 mana regen. More important for my Boomkin so far than my other alts. He seems to have more mana issues than anybody else. big HP and mana increases. 1080 HP, 1725 mana increase. So you know, I can't say it enough. The Boomkin made out like a bandit this week. Super happy to get all that loot. Okay, changing gears, guys. I already talked about my ults a little bit. I did a live Let's Play with a priest on YouTube. I only got him 21. Changing focuses a little bit this week, trying to take advantage of AV weekend. I wanted to get my mage to 51 and play him through AV, but it just wasn't really in the cards. I did play my DK. I did play a second warlock. Got a few levels on those guys, a little bit higher level, and I did get my mage to 39. I'll be focusing all of my ult attention, which means probably no Let's Play for the priest this week. I got to get that second mage to 80 if I want to be able to raid in you know, one of these new guilds that I'm trialing in. So that will be my prio for ults this week. Before I get to weekly goals, guys, I do want to go to the fight of the week, and it's a doozy. This is going to be a little bit different, guys. So if you're familiar, we're looking at Gluth here, Gluth and Nax. Now you've seen me fight Gluth before on my mage, and I parsed to 99. This is going to be a little bit different, and I'm not going to show you the whole video because you've already seen it, but this was my old guild, the one that I just left. Again, no hard feelings, great group of people. I'm just looking for something a little bit more serious, so we'll go ahead and skip to the bit here. But you know, let me just recap before we get to the part that I want to pause and go over. So we were doing an Immortal run. We've failed it 3 weeks in a row. And, you know, this run was going really well. I don't remember what wing we started in, but this was probably like the 5th or 6th boss. Okay, I'm going to pause it here real quick. And, you know, spirits were high. Spirits were real high. And I will tell you that this death that I'm going to show you was the only death during the whole entire run. Actually, let me just pull it up here. Here are our logs from the raid that week. Don't worry about these red lines over here. These are from Malygos and from OS. Here is where Nax ends, somewhere over here. So we only have one death here, and this is Gluth right here. Well, I don't want to show you yet what the reason is. If you saw it, you saw it. But okay, so Gluth has 2 phases. He has a normal phase, and then when he gets to whatever low health, I don't actually know, he casts Decimate, and everybody's health goes really low, including the zombie chows. And you know, if you kill it fast enough, you don't even have to worry about this mechanic. And we've killed it fast enough before where we didn't have to. But again, we only brought 21 people, which is just a huge problem. So we did get phased into Decimate. Now everybody's health goes low. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Shadow Priest, they have an ability called Shadow Word Death. And what it does is, if it doesn't, and I could be a little bit wrong on it, but this is my understanding of it. If it kills the mob that you cast on, there's no negative consequences to it. If it doesn't, you take damage. The Shadow Priest takes damage. There's some debate about whether it's a good part of the Shadow Priest rotation or not. I don't know the answer. I don't have a max level Shadow Priest yet. Obviously, I'm working on one. Well, our Shadow Priest was using it in his rotation and probably didn't think about how Decimate would interact with it. So here's the Shadow Priest over here, and here's their health bar right here. Qme. Again, I mean, obviously they didn't do this on purpose. It's just kind of bad luck and, you know, probably not thinking about the mechanics of the fight. So at this point in the fight, Gluth had just cast Decimate. So everybody goes low health. Keep an eye on the priest over here. I probably could have edited this and zoomed in, but it's okay. So, you know, Qme's down here at 5 to 10% health or whatever, and he's just dead. No mobs around, no boss around, and I didn't even notice at first. On Discord, our raid lead was very upset. I think a couple people knew right away what happened. I didn't know what happened until a little bit after. I didn't even realize anybody had died. Yeah, I tried, honestly. I feel like I did a good job of keeping my spirits high and trying not to flame. As this player, it must feel really bad. But you know, shit happens, man. Like if that's how that's a very specific thing to have to think about. But it did end the Immortal run. Nobody else died that run, so that would have been it. It would have been our Immortal. But you know, it is what it is. We'll be there you know, I'll get Immortal eventually, and these guys will too. You know, even without me. But yeah, tip of the week: don't use Shadow Word Death on Gluth during the Decimate phase, or maybe ever, or you know, Immortal run. Maybe don't use Sappers or anything like that when you're going for Immortal, and you know, just take it easy and think about the fight before it happens. So. Yeah, I just had to share that with you guys. It was disappointing and funny all at the same time. Not your standard fight of the week, but to be honest, I didn't really have any good fights this week. Everything was kind of scuffed. Mage did Immortal run with 21 people, had to heal on my Shaman with 21 people. My Warlock wasn't wearing all his buffs, like that's on me obviously, and my Boomkin's brand new. So you know, nothing really to show you guys in terms of you know how good I am, but that was worth sharing. So. Yeah, I did want to share that with you guys. All right, so weekly goals. Last week I told you I was changing the format. Just gonna talk about what I want to do. Not really having like this strict list of to do things. But yeah, last week I said I was gonna take it easy, and yeah, well that didn't really happen. I cleared every 25 man raid on all 4 of my characters, and 10 mans on 2 of them, except for KT on my mage. So. I ended up going a little bit harder than I thought I would. This week is actually going to be a little bit easier because it is a holiday week here in the U.S., so I really won't have time to play between Wednesday and Friday night probably. So I actually will play less this week, but you know, we'll see how much we get done. I'm still trialing tonight on my mage with one of the new guilds, and I'm taking my ults to some of the GDKPs for the second guild so they can kind of see my ults before I bring my mage next week. So those things are still happening. In terms of my weekly goals, though, actually, I wanted to do another Let's Play of the Priest. I did a live stream on YouTube, but I didn't actually make a video, so I sort of did that, but not really. I wanted to get my second mage to 51. Did not manage to get that done, but I got him to 39. He'll be my only focus for ults for a while. I did want to raid on my Shaman, which I did do. I wanted to raid all the raids on my mage, which I did except for KT. I was going to take the week off of my lock, but I did full 25 mans, and I was going to do maybe just 10 mans on Druid. I did that, but I also did 25 man. A big goal that I surpassed this week was I wanted to go from 12.5k gold to 15. I'm actually up to 18.3 now, and next week I'm going to try and go to 20. So it is a holiday week though, so I'm not making a list of goals. I'm just going to do as much as I can, and we'll get back to normal goals next week. But my primary focus is going to be trialing with my new potential guilds. So wish me luck on those guys. I really hope I can play well for them and you know, get an invite from one of those 2 guilds. They have a lot of good players. They have a lot of fast kill times, and you know, somebody who likes parsing, I'll be glad to be a part of either one of those teams. But yeah, I'll try and get whatever raids I can on the alts, but we'll just see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Don't forget, I do stream live on Twitch Tuesday. Well, I don't know. My schedule's kind of up in the air now that I'm looking for a new guild, but you know, for now at least Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays probably. That's probably to change a little bit, but just look for me for a few nights a week. Twitch.tv/Drunon, and you know, I'm putting these videos out there on YouTube. I'll get back into making some Let's Plays after I finish leveling this mage. Maybe I'll do some more live streams on YouTube. That was kind of fun. Thanks again, ShapeHop, for the sub, and for anybody else who was hanging out on the YouTube live stream. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the week, guys. We'll be back next week for another update. Might be a little simpler, might be a little shorter, but really appreciate you guys hanging out, and good gaming.